Hi, this is Oshinyemi's channel again. Sorry, I know I just finished the live, but every time these women come on, actually, I'm gonna try not to react on it. We're gonna listen to what they're saying. They are so lost in the source, they have to back for their God no matter what. But then, why would you back for someone who don't care for you? That's my question. As a woman, it's quite shameful how you lot go come on here and talk your spiel and then expect to get cash ups for it. I can't even get cash ups just to even go learn a few things and go and um, like um, do something for the community. You give the guy props that he don't even do. I've seen people high trips. I've seen people that's come on YouTube that's actually doing stuff, that's actually growing gardens, that's actually doing stuff on the outside, that's actually doing work. And these poor women are very deluded. I'm saying, the youngest one, Zoka, I know, high mind's eye, the youngest one, Zoka, she's very lost because he got her at her early stage. Plus, she haven't grieved the baby, whether she had something to do with it or not, right? Then they're throwing subliminals at people who's probably saved their backside from getting worse stuff. High, high mind's eye, from getting worse stuff because it could have gone to a point where like you lot all could have been coming out in a casket. You could have all died, could have done suicide, because he could have been a suicidal cult. He kept talking about death a lot, right? You lot are all upset because you've seen everything falling apart around you. And the biggest problem is that how you lot are such beautiful girls, beautiful women. So you go sort out your STDs, syphilis, whatever you got going on, which you contracted from him. Go look after your sons, Aya and Malia. Efaru has a family anyway, a supportive family, and she's on here doing the most, clapping her hands. The ratchet women what you see online or love and hip hop. I mean, they really think there really is on a show or on a reality show. Now, Malia is just like a Muslim and talk about Allah, right? Now, she alone, I will say, that's what I'm saying. I really find it interesting that no Muslim has come upon their lives and given them the 411 or the 10 or broken them down. Because when you're part of a movement, a religion, a practice, and somebody's just talking about something which they don't practice on a daily basis, it's not part of their life. Even if you're not doing it on a daily basis, and they're talking, fair enough. These women look healthier than they did from before. They look healthier, and he's only been in prison about 2 3 weeks, something like that. They're starting to look good. Now, there's online education because I'm doing online education, even though sometimes I forget to do it. You can do remote learning, you can learn so much things. And these women are on here batting for their God. He's not even good, right? And like, there's so many contradictories in what they're saying. It's unbelievable. And I'm sure even the people who is listening to you will be thinking to themselves, what on earth are they talking about? But I'm going to let the video play. I've watched it before. I've watched on a few channels already. I'm not going to react to it. I'm going to try my best not to, because I've reacted to the one before what they did. The reason why I didn't react to True, because True is delusional anyway. Solar is a bit crazy. Is still part of the. He's still part of the cult. He's still part of the cult. So therefore, I cannot listen to someone who's part of something because they're making out they're not part of something, but they are part of the cult. It doesn't make no sense. But anyways, I'm gonna let these women talk their shit. I'm just gonna put it on my channel for those who is following the case of Nature Boy's case at presently. You've probably seen it on other channels, but I'm gonna let it play anyway because it's always good to keep a mental note how not to get caught up, how not to follow man. You follow yourself. You don't need a man to justify you, to justify your existence, right? Go get a job, right? Jobs are easy to come by when you're in your 20s and mid 20s and stuff like that. There's loads of online stuff you can do at this time. Even though knowing them as I do, knowing them, they will probably go take the money and try and get him out of jail, which is never going to happen anyway. But anyway, we're going to let them talk their rubbish. Yeah, exactly. They're very interesting because you know why? They play woke when it's convenient. They play woke when it's, those people who play the woke card when it's convenient. It's not a natural thing to them. They're spouting a whole heap of misguided information, which they have been fed for how many years? I think it's about 8 years or something like that. The young girl on the end, as we know, was White was with Nature Boy. He took her from Solar. He's taken most of these women. He's taken from the men in the cult. Now this is a very active cult still, as much as that is getting broken down and dismantled, but it's still active. Anyhow you look at it, it's still an active cult. I just spoke about a sex cult just a minute ago, and it sounds kind of similar to what is going on. Yeah, they just play it. They play it. I know, but still, you know what I mean, right? You don't necessarily have to wear a headscarf, wear locks, look a certain way to be awake, because like anybody can, the information's out there. We all can be awakened. Hi, let me see your transcript. I'm actually using one of your videos. I'm gonna try not to react. I'm gonna try not to stop and start it. I mean, these women are clearly sad. They're very triggering to me because it's like they're as young as my daughters. They're all as young as my daughters, you can say. You know, apart from Aya, who's in her 30s, it's quite triggering to see. Uh, Even if you have been a woman who has fallen underneath a man, that you are so brainwashed, that you are so far gone, that you are even scared to stop talking about him in case when he comes out, he's gonna want to see that how you're proclaiming the kingdom. I was only able to record 28 minutes, but oh, it's okay. That's all right. That's all right. I don't need a long one anyway because I saw that there was a lot of things the people were scrolling on the screen on the screen at them, so it's fine. It's okay. So we're gonna let this play. I'm gonna try not to go in. I just want to take down. I just want to take them down to the nearest baptistry. They need more than baptized. They need holy water. They need detoxing. They need yoni eggs. They need those little things what you stick up the yoni, and then it takes out all the stuff out of the vagina. They need I don't even know. They need to go see their children. They need to go and try and reconnect with their family, even if their family hate them. They need not to follow a stripper slash prostitute slash whatever else he did, porn star. And I'm sure, and if Marwan was here, he'll probably say the same thing because that's what he is. He still is that. Then to the Pentecostal church to be anointed with extra virgin olive oil, then taken to the Catholic church to have the demon. They need a whole heap of things. There's no length to think that women this denial, foolish. I don't know. They're throwing subliminals at Natiri, which Max did pick up. To be honest, I think Natiri saved their asses, but they got Stockholm syndrome right now. They could leave that place. They got Stockholm syndrome. Okay, that's all I can say. I feel there's a lot of Stockholm syndrome going on. Yes, they had domestic violence, everything. But before I get interrupted, I'm gonna play the video.
Purely. And when you look at us, you're seeing a pure mirror of yourself. So whatever hate you might be spitting, you're only spitting that back into your subconscious. That goes 95% of your brain. You're 5% consciously interacting in this world. And so they play on that 95% of your subconscious. And you're not even aware that since you was a child, they've been plotting on your self-destruction, on your enslavement, and you think you out here free, hooping the house because you driving the Benz. No. You cannot stop the message of God. Because we are vessels of the enlightened one. We are vessels of the Messiah. Come on. You might be able to leave and hide in places. Chosen ones that are quiet, you should be able to feel something in you, and that be like, okay, I should not be quiet in this time because the Messiah needs to teach, allow me to teach. I need to proclaim the king with due emphasis, especially when people are up against what the king's for. You cannot box with God. They are simply throwing little petals and little stones.
What about looking at yourself? What about looking into yourself? When you look into yourself, you're talking about like they are the reflection. You're not a reflection of me. No way, Jose. You are not a reflection of me. You ain't being true why I've been true. You ain't felt why I felt. You cannot talk for me. You cannot say nothing at all. You are not the light that next generation need right now. I think if anything, you lot are like the virus. The CDC need to come take you from your space. You're none of that. You're none of that.
I need to proclaim the king with due emphasis, especially when people are up against what the king stands for. You cannot box with God. They are simply throwing little petals and little stones, dust particles at us. You cannot box with us. What is that, a tomato? Son, it's just yourself. It's just yourself that you see. Yes. It simply is. And you are going to be, this is all being recorded for you when
I just realized I didn't take it to the beginning. But anyway, it's good. Because they none of what they say makes sense anyway. Okay? They don't make sense. They never do. They never do. They just talk on a whole heap of circles. They make no sense.
You transition. Because just like this is just a mirror. So when you transition, there will be a grand mirror, and you will stand in front of the almighty love. You will stand in front of the love that we all are, united as one. We are all gods. We are all children of God. We are all love beings. So any hate or any judgment, any evil sin that we have.
So gods have sex on Instagram. Do they? Goddesses have sex on Instagram. Or Orishas or wherever else you lot call yourself. Muslims, never seen a Muslim have sex on a porn site or nothing before in my life. I don't think I've ever seen that. I mean, like, you probably see them dancing, but I've never seen that. So, I don't know.
We have within ourselves that we have not worked on in this plane of existence. Because this is the chance and opportunity that we are here to work on our hearts and our mentality. If we do not heal that, when we get to that all being of love, we will be convicted.
You don't need healing. You need a lot of healing. You need a lot of healing. He did a damn good job on you lot, because you lot are just talking out of your ass, your backsides right now. You're talking about healing. What healing have you lot done? Have you lot done any healing? Have you done any healing? I don't think so.
complacent within ourselves. And we will sit there and be like, you know what, I do not deserve to join the flame of life. I do not deserve everlasting life, because you will not have done the work that you have to do for you to even understand why you were here and to be fulfilling your purpose and to be like, yes, I'm comfortable and confident in who I am. A lot of y'all are just faking and being who you want to be for the person that they approve. Why are we being one of
Zoka, you're faking right now. It's clear that you've all lost your marbles right at this point. Even when you're talking your so-called downloads, you have to go into a poetry form. You have to pretend to be something that you're not. You're in your early 20s. Your early 20s. Your early 20s. What was I doing in my early 20s? I think I was enjoying myself in my early 20s. I think I had a child in my early 20s. You are pretending on internet, batting for somebody who put you in a corner, probably put you in a closet, and you're just batting for them. Ironic, isn't it? But yes, still you are spouting to other people who probably works in their early 20s, who's working, getting their little monies, who's got a little car. He's probably doing a lot more than you are doing right now. Because right now you're stuck in a house somewhere in Atlanta. The lights is probably gone. So like it come like you're squatting anyway. And you're sitting in front of a camera spouting. I mean, fair enough, if you're doing stuff, I mean, before you were doing stuff like this before. But this is a whole nother reason now. Guy is going to come out, no matter what you lot say or do or how you try to make it like he is the good person that he is. We don't know he's not that, because there's video evidence all over the internet to prove how abusive he was, especially to Malia. He was very abusive. Very abusive. I can even find video of him abusing Malia right now. And also Aya. Because sometimes, right, you didn't know what day of the week, what state of mind he will be when he gets up. You don't know what he will do. I feel that coming to the end, he showed more of who he was every single day. And that's how we knew that he was hitting you lot in the background. But you lot are all pretending to be like how he was out of order. He was. And I'm going to show up the comments there. He did so much. He did a lot. Beating you. He had like how many characters stuffed in his head? I'm sure you lot didn't know what day of the week he was get up and just go do something. He probably at one point, he probably would have killed you lot. Have you lot ever thought about that? Have you ever sat back and thought to yourself, you know what? He is better off where he is. Because, to be honest, the more it continued, someone would have probably died anyway. Mama Dia already died. There's a baby missing, which we don't even know what happened to the baby. One of the members already killed her mother. I think I've covered everybody. I don't even know. I think I've done everybody. So you lot are just trying to make out the man like he's some angel and he's some godly man and he's some whatever man. All the information he got, he slammed together. He literally did a York. He slammed it all together. And you lot are all playing it all out now. By putting a headscarf on your head, right, doesn't make you a Muslim. Okay? By spouting stuff about history, about the skin, we don't know that our skin, we know that we are carbon. I forgot how it goes now. Carbon, nitrogen, and something else. I forgot anyway how it goes. Right? We already know that. We know our hair is in the shape of the 9. That's the 9 ether. So if you lot don't even know the basics of even that, clearly you haven't learned nothing, because they don't put everything on Google. Okay? You have to go to the classes. You have to go to actually sit amongst the people who learning them stuff. And you lot clearly have none of that. I seen Nation of Islam girls around about your age doing drills, cooking bean pie, doing charity, sitting in a house asking for cash apps does not make it, I don't know, what's the word? I can't think. Asking for cash apps, basically, right, you're looking, like I said, what I said from time before. Movements was made to make the black people improve their lives, to make them improve themselves. Fair enough, a few camps have not proven to be so, right? So you join a movement which is an eco-friendly movement, and you lot are in Babylon, but the guy is called Nature Boy, but you lot are in Babylon. It makes no sense. And in fact, even the ones in Babylon, they do a lot of nature stuff. They grow gardens, they eat from their gardens. You lot have not done that. I think you lot only grown a little seedling out of a cup, just about. And you're here sitting here proclaiming the kingdom. I think there's even one of Malia stammering away, talking about, oh, he's my God and he's my this. Oh, another point. He's not you lot husbands. He's married to Velvet. Okay, you lot all the side chicks. You're the side chicks, the little orgies, the little bed bugs. Actually, in fact, you lot are the bugs. Right about now, you are the bugs. And in fact, if I was people in America right now, and you lot came back into my family, because I know what happened to the girl who killed her mum, I wouldn't even want you lot around me. You lot have to go to the madhouse. Because you lot are not in a fit state to be around community at all, any community, the black community, whatever community. You know? So even though to men you lot might be visually beautiful, but underneath it all, you lot are nasty, dirty women. So let me just let the video play.
For someone else's dream. American dream is slavery. American dream is hell. The black man's dream is God. The black man's dream is heavenly state of mind, which is constant communion with God. Why are we not in communion with God, God's people? Why are we thinking so much of the day about toxic things? We have to think that. We have to really sit with ourselves and be like, okay, you know what? Why do these people trigger me so much? Yeah. Yep. I'm just coming on here and believing in what I believe in and putting that out there. Right. With due emphasis. And I'm going to convict you because you're not doing what you know you should be doing. Yeah. They're not going to do it because they're scared.
You ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, but you're there trying to preach to people. What? You telling people what to do? You're trying to preach to people? What are you doing? What are you doing? Ask yourself that question. You don't have Wi-Fi. Like I said, you could go learn something on the internet. The internet is very vast. The matrix is very big. If you research certain stuff instead of looking up free God's foolishness or go and research exactly what he taught you, you lot will find out how you lot will probably learn a lot more than ever. Okay? Now, I can go into a few little history bits and I can probably teach you a few stuff if I really wanted to. If I'm drinking a good Guinness, that is. I could even teach when I'm drunk. Can you believe it? I can teach when I'm drunk. Okay? You lot, on the other hand, need to go read a book. Read the ISIS papers. This Phil Valentine. Who else is there? Moata Ashby. Wayne Chandler. And that's only just 4 people I think I've talked about already. You lot need to go learn something instead of being on Bigo trying to raise money for your God who doesn't even care. and he's not he is actually one out of how many people who said that they are the God, they're the Messiah, they are the this. He's called himself several names already. He's Tahuti, he's whatever. Even he don't even know even his own identity. I'm upset they are quoting from the Bible. I know. Let me see your transcript. You see, right? I'm not Christian, so this is all right. It just bounces right off me. They're using the Bible because to them they feel that how they have to convict the weak, as they say, with biblical text. Even though the Bible was written by Shakespeare at the end of the day, okay, King Henry V, I think it was, because he wanted to marry one of his wives, they changed the Bible. I think he gave it to William Shakespeare to change. So basically, and the Bible has been revised many times. So them talking about the Bible doesn't mean anything really. What it is, the thing is, they're trying to get certain people to listen to them. So if people with biblical texts, who's into biblical texts and certain stuff, they will more gravitate towards these people. And mostly some 9% type of Muslim. So that's why they use the Bible. The Bible is used as a subliminal no. They're using the Bible as a subliminal so that they can convict the weak, as they say. That's why they're using the Bible for. Because Nature Boys used the Bible. He was brought up in a Christian house. That's why he was able to use the Bible. That's one of the things that he did say to somebody on Bigo. Plus he was around a few people who was pushing the Bible. But anyways, I'm not going to you know. Yeah, but Shakespeare also wrote the Bible as well. Anyways, I'm not going to
because whenever something gets hard, people don't want to do it. But that's what Baba G, he's exactly the three guy. He shows us that every single day. He's been through this already. In Costa Rica, in Belize, in Panama, in Nicaragua. And then guess what? All these in Hawaii. And then guess what? He gets out. He's still teaching. It's something that is innate with him. It drives him, empowers him to.
They really think this dude's gonna come out of the jail. They really think he's gonna come out of the jail because he's come out of the other jails before. That's why they're listing them. Which I may add is all part of America. It's all part of America. I mean, I didn't know till when I started following Nature Boy, when the Reactors was following him, that most of them islands are part of America, are they're US soil. So it's not like you lot moved far. You didn't move far. You just, I mean, and especially if you can drive from one end to the other. Though you can drive from certain places to Ghana and certain places, well, so they say. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't know that those places was part of America. So basically you're still in America. He didn't move nowhere far.
This is all that he cares about, this mission. Yes. And Black people, guess what? We have a God. We have our Savior. Yes. And his name is Nature Boy. Yes.
They sound like the Ben Yahwehs. They sound like the Yahwehs. They sound like the Yahwehs. There's another lot of people they sound like. I can also throw Nation of Islam into that mix too. Because they look at Master Farad Muhammad as their God. And Elijah Muhammad.
Pyramid. Yes, oh my God, he's literally our God. Like, Black people, we don't have a spiritual guru. We don't have a deity to worship. They have the Buddha, they have the white Jesus, they have all these people. But who is our person? Who is
These girls don't know a lot, you know. There's been many scholars, many teachers that's risen from the black community. It's not my fault you lot don't know shit. There's been many scholars. Even I mean, though most of them, I think about 3 of them have ended up in prison. But there have been people that have risen up and still going. Okay, Minister Farrakhan still going, even though he's working with the Scientologists. He's still going. He's still talking about Master Farad Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad. You lot clearly don't know a lot. You don't know a lot, do you? You don't know. You don't know. There's Jabari. Who else is there from the Americas? There's a lot of them that's risen up from black people. Even over here, there was a Michael X over here at one point. So you lot clearly listen to this guy. You don't go off and do your own little research. Then you'll find out who was risen from the black from out of the black community. He wasn't exactly helping the black community. At least Bobby Seals and Huey P. Newton was helping the community. They did school programs, they did breakfast programs, they did security programs, they did constitutions, they did a whole heap of things. So if your span don't reach as far as your nose, of course you'll believe in someone as ignorant and as ratchet as Nature Boy, because you lot didn't want to see nothing else, because you lot only went over there, like I said, and I repeated many times. Most of the women who reached Nature Boy reached because of the sex side of it. That's all it was. There's nothing else. It wasn't to do with knowledge. It wasn't to do with getting to know yourself or whatever, because you can go to any camp and get to know yourself. You can get to any camp out there. Even Queen Afua, you can get to know yourself as for males and females. You lot just stuck to the most ratchetest thing that was going. That's the most ratchetest and easiest and shortcut thing you can do. And talking about that, how right, what's it right? Like people think that getting to know yourself is through doing namaste and yoga. Most of those gurus and stuff have to learn themselves. They have to learn themselves so that they can do all stuff. When they're doing the yoga, they're breaking down their body, they're breaking down themselves. They're gaining strength, they're gaining wisdom, knowledge, and understanding at the same time. They're learning the sanskets, they're learning the different postures. You lot haven't done none of that. None of that. You don't even eat raw food or vegan food. You eat chicken, lobster, and pork. So you lot are very contradictory, very next way. I don't know what else to say to you, really. You lot have no guidance of an older woman. You need an older woman to guide you. Yeah, that's why in African societies, the women go with the women with some things and the men go with the men. That's how it goes in African societies. In Islam, it's the same. When you see the Somalian women, they walk with each other and the men go by themselves and they reason and they do what they're doing. So you women clearly have no knowledge of self. Because knowledge of self is a lot more deeper than that. It's a lot more organic than that. When I went to Nation of Islam, the first thing you get taught is about the Asiatic black man and how big the world is. And then it goes from there. So if you look are using Bible verses, yes, in Islam they used to use Bible and Quran verses as well. So you lot are just saying buzzwords right now. That's all you lot seem to do is use buzzwords, reflection, I love myself, and now the tree cheating, which he rebranded after a while, after coming into contact with a guy who does high frequency work. So And women who need validation by a man, that's when it comes a problem, when you want validation by a man. Anyways, I'm not going to go into speech mode. I'm just going to let the thing play.
Our God to worship. It is three gods. And he's came to bring back this message. He's literally our Messiah, our deity to worship. And he's literally Jesus in the flesh.
People wait till after they gone. Ooh. Then they idealize something that's in their head. Wait, did they do that with Jesus? Yeah, they did.
They did it with Jesus.
Then they hate him while he was alive.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, exactly.
All these people. All people hate him.
Modern day Christ. Modern day Jesus is here.
Yeah.
And you will not shush him up because his mind is free. And when a person's mind is free, you will never keep them in bondage. You will never take them down. You will never stop them from speak truth because that's what lives through him. It's his truth. It's his knowledge. It's the five sciences. It streams through him. And it will continue because it's the only knowledge that's going to let the rain in the end. It lasts in the end because that's all our people need to come to is the understanding that they're God and the understanding that you are in your own mind and you are experiencing your own reality. You have a brain that's encased in darkness that interprets this reality. How do your brain interpret this reality? From your five senses, from your DNA. It streams from your DNA. You are in a holographic universe in your mind. That part.
Speak.
And you going to work and you got children and you think you have your own business. You think you got your own car. You think you got your own thing going. Where they could get.
So are you lot just a women who owns their own cars and got their own businesses? Do you want women to go back to the prehistoric thing where men used to knock you over your head and drag you back by your hair? Do you know it's nothing better than seeing women working and they got a load of children and they got a business and they're doing their stuff? You lot are talking down to women who's doing that. Those women, those successful women, right, they are able to maneuver themselves. They don't have to wait for nobody to give them nothing. Hi, House and Nathan. Hi, True Master Dre. You know, some men like women who get their own money. They like an ambitious woman. Do you not know that? They like ambitious women. There's nothing men like. I think even for women, there's nothing more sexier than a guy who's got his shit together sometimes because like he comes and he empowers you. So you're looking down on women who's working and doing their own stuff. Hi, Lady Legs. You're looking down on women who's doing their own stuff, who's making soaps, who's doing all sorts of businesses. How dare you? You are in no place to do that. Like I said, there's nothing inspiring about you lot. All you lot do is twerk and do all sorts of things online. Then you play this righteous road. It's quite sad.
Again, you underneath an invisible man you never even met in your life. We serve a God that we can surely see. Yeah. We can surely say, this is my God. Yeah. And I honor him and I serve him. And he has his own curriculum. He has his own knowledge. He is up under Allah. Yeah. He is a righteous man in tune with divine law, divine principles of nature. He lives righteously and does the right thing mathematically. He cannot go outside the laws of the universe. He lives in tune like the animals live in tune. The animals have a...
Hi, Sankofa. I never can say your name. Cosmic Sankofa. There you go. He's not in tune with anything. He wasn't in tune before, and he wasn't in tune now he's in prison. He was never in tune. He was always a pimp, a prostitute, a escort. He was never nothing else. A woman beater. What else was he? A woman beater. He wasn't really nothing of significance. He wanted to be something he wasn't, considering he was brought up in Wagner. He just wanted to be the savior, the so-called. He wanted to be famous. There you go. He wanted to be famous. He wanted to be famous. Hi. You awake? See, my baby's woken up now. So I'm going to let it play because the little one's got on up.
An innate sense of what to do. And he has an innate sense of what to do, and which is righteous. Yes. He is the melanated God. He is the first. He is the melanated God that all people come from.
Exactly.
He is the first. Yes. He's actually the first human being on this earth. Go study Lucy. Yes. He is the.
He's Lucy. So you lot been watching Lucy the movie, yeah? How is he Lucy? How is he the first human being? He came out, he was around in the 90s. He was born in the 80s. He's 40 now, but he was the first human being. Okay, whatever you say. Backward people, man.
First human. Yeah. And he's come to bring a message to his people, to wake his people up. Yeah. Our people are sleeping. They are in darkness. Take the veil off your eyes. Mm-hmm. Wake up, my people. What you're doing, you are hurting yourself. Eating those poison foods, watching those televisions, going to work, they're draining your energy. They're draining your chi. They're draining your power to power their system. Literally, they have taken resources and information from nature to create their own world that's within the world that was already here, a matrix that was already here, taking and stripping of its resources and making a tumor and a cancer around the planet that was already here. Speak. And you judge us and you throw stones at us.
People throw stones at you because seeing what this man has done to you and what you lot prepared to put up with. You lot sound hurt. Clearly you're hurt. Clearly. You thought this man was going to come save you, right? Which is very naive. No man can save a woman. The woman has to try to save herself. And if the man comes, the man has to, he will ideally either build you up or break you down. Then it's left for you to even think about your own self. You're just spouting all these things like I don't even know. You're just spouting for the money, innit? You're spouting for the money. Yeah? He is nothing. He learned all his knowledge when he was around Sinetta, York, and all that. And this is the same thing that you lot are talking about. He didn't even know what star sign he was at one point. He didn't know himself. He hates dark-skinned women. He hates dark-skinned women. That's why all of you are so light-skinned. Have you not noticed how light-skinned all of you look? He was against colorism. He had a go at Efaru because she's half white. He Googled most of his information. He had no information that will be of substance to help the people. When you're giving the people information, sometimes you have to know a little bit yourself so you can maneuver so that you, the teacher, like I said, the teacher would identify, the student will identify the teacher. He wasn't a teacher at all. Okay? The teacher have to have somewhat of knowledge or something because the student always surpasses the teacher. You lot have not evolved. Putting on some black clothes, like I said, and a head wrap and scarves on your head and wearing a feather doesn't make you woke. Doesn't make you woke. To be woke, you have to be holistic. It's a whole holistic thing. Then you have to be around the right people to encourage you to encourage that, or you yourself will find a way, because there's always a rebellious one who goes out and goes a little more further. They will travel a little more further. They will do a little more further stuff. You lot are clearly not. Oh, you okay? You lot are not in that place where you lot can be spouting stuff like this, because you're just insulting the people who's giving you money. And I speak as an elder. Okay?
When we're trying to bring you truth and bring you what's facts and reality and what needs to be done to our people's mind. We need to heal our people's mind and wake them up. Y'all are sleeping.
And I want to say something. I want to say something to the people. The reason that Three God be under so much scrutiny is because of the people that he brought into his life. 6 years ago, when he started his journey, he was alone. There was people that begged him to come along with him to be on the journey with him. Now, when these people found out that it wasn't so sweet, that they actually do have to put in the work and start to face themselves and do the actual healing. Right.
Because they wasn't standing for the abuse. That's why they left. They realized it was all a con and they left. Okay? So stop spouting that same story. Every single time you lot come on here, you tell the same story that people came to him and people came to him and people came to him. He said he was the people was going to live in nature. People gave him money. He conned people out of money, and when they found out the truth, they left. They're not silly. They're not going to sit there and be antagonized, be beaten up, get the women taken away from them, and just sit there and just take his shit. So, just because you lot hold it on, because you lot clearly was in love with the guy. You're clearly in love with the guy, obviously. He gave you lot STDs. You lot clearly had something else going on with you lot while you lot are still standing there now. Like I said, Malia, your organs got moved up all over the place. You was in a hospice. You was nearly near to death's door. But there you are, fighting for someone who didn't care for you. He went and he got you because whatever was on the papers, he didn't want to come out in the public arena. Plus, he probably was taking your medication anyway, which many have said. As for you, Aya, you was getting abused from Velvet and Nature Boy at one point. And you're still there. I don't even know why. Ephraim was taken from Calabar many times, taken away, flung back, taken away, flung back. She all had a baby, was pregnant, he made her get rid of the baby. Zoka, you had, he called your baby a demon. He made you drink shots. What happened to the baby? Anyways, I'm not even going to let them finish saying what they got to say. I'm going to come off now, to be honest. Like I said, I always try not to make a video on these young ladies, but they always seem to trigger me, and we have to come out and start talk to them because they're watching our videos, because they're saying what we're saying, so they're watching our videos. So these women are very deluded. Like I keep saying, they're deluded, and I know they're trying to stay onto the last man standing. I just want to see who's going to be the last man standing on this one. I really do. And I'm going to see whether the law come for them, because they've done a whole lot. They are accessories to a lot of stuff. There's a lot of guilt going on in that camp around these women, I believe. All right. So with that said, I'm going to come off. I think I said my 5 pence. You know me. Normally I would have gone in a bit more harder, but it doesn't make no sense. I'm putting my breath out for these girls because they're clearly children. They're childish. They're immature. They need to grow up. They need to get a life. They need to go check out those STDs and whatever else is going on. You may look healthy on the outside, on the inside you're rotten. Natiri said that how all of you lot have posts coming from your business. It's okay. It's okay, Amazon. You have pus coming from your vaginas. Natiri said that. It's so interesting because Natiri was cussing out, and she went back. And then she's the one who break down the whole camp. She break the whole camp. They said that whole hoe is Horus. I mean, where do you write this thing at? Where do you put all this thing? I can't even think of, like, my words are all over the place. Where do they make this? This is just ridiculous. You say whole is Horus. You talk about Allah. Have you done your have you done your Shaheed? I forgot what's it called. Have you done your thing that makes you Muslim? A Shahada. Shahada, that's it. Have you done your Shahada? Because I spoke to some Muslim women the other day. They was trying to convert me. They're telling me that how I have to go and make a Shahada. You can't just be Muslim just like that. It doesn't work like that. Because you put on a headscarf, a Gucci headscarf on your head, doesn't make you a Muslim. You have to do a Shahada. You have to pray 5 times a day. You have to fast. It is Ramadan now. How comes you lot, right? Most Muslims, from what I know, don't even be online unless they're talking about the Quran. They're fasting. They're waiting till dawn or whatever time for them to break their fast to go with their families. You can't be talking about Allah if you have nothing, if you are not practicing the thing. Even though anyways, I'm not even gonna go into the slave part of it because people are gonna say whatever. LOL, it looked like he said that to me. Showing you have plus come. Exactly. Remember when I told you they had thing coming from between their legs? Oh, okay. So yeah. So basically, you lot, you haven't done your Shahada. You haven't gone to Nation Islam. We have to write your letter to Mas Mariam, so therefore you can become Muhammad. If you haven't done all that, you are in no place to talk about Muslim stuff. As for Christianity, well, anybody can be Christian, really. I don't know how it goes. Like, let me see, the transcript said, right, it's more about baptism and stuff like that. I mean, though I do come from the Christian side of things, but I haven't been in a church for ages. You have to practice Shahada. You have to do the 5 pillars of Islam. You have to do all that. You can't just come on and talk about Muslim stuff. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Sister Alma. You came when I was in my flow. You haven't done the 5 pillars of Islam. Nature Boy haven't done the 5 pillars of Islam. He's not a Muslim. He dressed up like a Muslim. He went and got his costume from Amazon and he dressed up like a Muslim. Then he started twisting up the Ma'at laws. Then he started twisting up the chakras. Then he started twisting up everything else that comes with it, the Kama Sutra. Because all he talks about is sex. He doesn't talk about nothing of substance. He's just one of those bubble-headed men who just about their body and their looks. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say on the matter, really. I mean, like, people could comment underneath the video and tell me what you think, because these women are altogether crazy. Now, anybody who's been studying Islam and everything else that deals with it, you don't need to go on to Bigo, wherever these women are, and ask them, have they done the 5 pillars of Islam? What gives you the right to talk about Islam? And the Christian ones need to go on their backs too. Don't just let them sit there and be spouting rubbish. Even if they block you, go and talk to these women. Tell them to go sort out what's going on between them legs. Go talk out the puss. Go sort it out. Don't come on here talking about the 3 God or whatever the heck he is, the 2 God, the 1 God, the 0, because you lot are not elevating nobody to nothing. You're not elevating, you're not making anybody greater. You haven't evolved. I will repeat, you haven't evolved. So with that said, I am going to come off. I am. Yeah, I used to tune into Matt Laws and I call her out. Oh, she as well. I thought, but Matt Laws is doing stuff now. She does The pearls as well, the yoni pearls and stuff like that. She looks so different now. You don't even recognize her no more. Yeah. So with that said, I am gonna come off. All right. Please go to my other channel. Hold up, let me find it. I call it the dark side of Oshun. I think that is. Where is it? Ah, done it wrong. Please go to the other channel as well. And if you have already subscribed, thank you for subscribing. I'm gonna cover the next thing over there. I'm waiting for inspiration to come. Please tap onto the other channel, Oshun Media. I spoke about the download men. Interesting information in its own rights. Anyways, I'm gonna come off now. So with that said, thank you for passing through. I think I'm gonna play my guy too, actually. Let's put some zen on this. Right. Thank you for coming through, Tripsies, Mind's Eye. Let me see your transcript. Oh my, I'm hungry. House of Nathan, Truth, Master Dre, Lady Legs, Cosmic Sankofa. So Tripsies, I think I said Tripsies already, innit? Yeah, Tripsies. So you know I'm gonna play my guy, okay?
Tell me it's moving.
Yeah, it's rumbling.
Yeah, rumbling. You tell me it's need to eat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go make some prawn noodles in a minute.
of strife, time to run it up, yeah. Let me take this moment to honor the fallen. They rise through dimensions, we strong with their presence. And what they didn't heal, we gon' clean it up. And what they didn't feel, we gon' live it up. And what they didn't see, we paint the picture. Rainbow body, the full spectrum. Breathing in this cosmic wisdom, releasing what don't serve me no more.
And every death and rebirth is a cycle, eternal life. Yeah. And even in my darkest of days, I'm abundant in love and light. Chanel.